I love Hitman. It's one of my most favourite games, mostly down to the fact that you can do anything you want. One of the main appeals, to most people, is the silent assassin challenges, and I don't do them very often, so I wanted to put my own twist on that, also making it much longer as I travel to New York to find out if I can KO everyone on the map without ever being caught. And if a body ever gets found or I get caught, I have to reset the run. Then to show off just how good I am at not being spotted, I'll pile everyone into the vault and eliminate my target there, which means I must drag all of them down to the basement. All of this so I can finally complete my New York Silent Assassin suit only challenge. Yes, I will also be making this much more difficult on myself by never changing my disguise. So with that, I started by knocking out everyone in the toilets as soon as I entered the bank, as this served as a good place to hide bodies, as the NPCs don't tend to walk into the cubicles. So this for now was where I stored my victim. You're making sure to use up within to lure people in, having come with no loadout to the mission, and sporting my classy bucket hat, I started to lure people inside the toilets, as I was for now going to take out everyone on the front right side of the bank. So that is what I did, amassing a significant pile of bodies, whittling down the number of people in the main area. I then moved down to the basement, which was an area full of weaving rooms and corridors, great places to hide bodies. As for now I was hiding some bodies in containers as I didn't know the proper pathing for certain NPCs. Getting into the main vault area, using a keycard I'd collected after the IT guys I'd KO'd, I got into the security room and made use of some chloroform I found to knock out the guards, giving me free reign of the area, and I then used this to my advantage as I unlocked the vault to collect some key items for the run, that of gold bars, them being actually very important, as with them I was able to lure and subdue multiple people in quick succession, as I didn't need to collect them after being thrown, as I had 7 of them. I then moved on to the lower tier guards who were down there, and for some reason or another they didn't know I wasn't allowed in the vault area, so I used this to my advantage, being able to stay in view as I lured them into the security room with a pistol and stashed them inside. I then moved on to the isolated people inside the lock rooms. This is where I fell at the second hurdle, as somehow one of the bankers was able to spot me even though I knocked him out when he had his back to me. So for now I had to go back to the drawing board on that one. Resetting, I replicate what I had just done in the toilet, making sure to lure more people than I had done before. But this time, before going down into the basement, I wanted to make sure to clear out the entrance area to the bank. So I headed over to the other side to replicate my strategy and lure the guards out of their break room by way of turning off their TV and KOing them and stashing them back inside. I then used the same strategy as before to clear up the rest of the people left in the area. I will also mention, with my reset I did study the map a bit before returning and found out there are many areas where NPCs never go, so there is no need to store any in containers, so the amount at the end will be truly every NPC on the map. Now with the entrance cleared, I could move back down to the vault, knocking out the guards the same way I had before, also knocking out the 2 in the garage by splitting them up. Once I returned to the lock rooms, again I was much careful this time, knocking out the bankers. Also getting lucky as one of the 2 wanderers came down into the basement, these being NPCs who could catch me off guard and find bodies, so I needed to be careful, so catching him here and stashing him in the security room was an incredibly good thing that happened. Finally finishing up by grabbing the guards from the entrance, I cleared out the first main area for the map, and I could now freely use the basement area as a body disposal ground. Now moving further up, I could use my tried and tested tactic of luring people into the toilets on the people in the VIP area. Clearing out another zone, I then was able to slowly but surely move all the NPCs from the main area of the bank into hide spots, and until there was just one left, the news reporter had been very integral for what I needed to do later, as if I gave her some documents she would move my target from her office, giving me time to go in and clear everyone without her wandering around, so I saved her for later. So to paint a picture, by now I had cleared out the whole main area of the bank and the basement, excluding the aforementioned reporter. So for now I moved on to the second floor, skipping the first floor as I was not sure if the NPCs from above could see down below or not. Firstly switching off the power to the lights and security room to lure out the guards, getting them all in my safe location, and also knocking out the one investment banker as he was a wanderer, so it was best to knock him out now to store him in the trusty toilet so he doesn't spot me on accident and ruin the run. I then made my way up to the top floor where my target Athena hangs out, where there are most of the higher tier security, so I cleared out the assistant and 2 guards in the main foyer of the top floor and moved down to collect all the investment bankers in the corridor, also getting the other wanderer I mentioned earlier as he moves between the 2nd and 3rd floor, so it was good to get him out of the way here. From there I was then grabbing a couple more guards from the top floor with my trusty coins, as they did seem to enjoy a good coining. I then did a bit of meddling and used the reporter I had saved for this specific occasion, and I crashed the stock market, which moved my target away from the top floor down to the second floor, giving me ample time to clear out everyone in the top floor, as I could use her office as a basement, leading everyone as it was practically a big hiding spot. I also got very lucky, almost getting caught by Athena as she came back up, but I was able to hide the bodies just in time. Here is where she got stuck, however, and I can assume she was supposed to talk to the receptionist, but due to, let's say, my meddling, he was not available at this moment in time. Her guard standing watch also not moving, but with some distractions, I was able to get him to move to his normal support. However, Athena would only go back to waiting, not even checking behind her, as I could walk around freely as I pleased. So KOing the stragglers on the top floor and also the reporter I had left on the bottom floor, I made the decision to KO Athena, this securing me the top floor. It was then just a simple matter of KOing the last two groups of NPCs, and with my gold bars and the fact that I cleared out everyone in the surrounding area, there was no trouble KOing them all, and with the last NPC I had KO'd everyone in the bank without ever changing my disguise or getting caught. This within itself was a large undertaking, as you can see, as it was nearing the 3 hours and 30-minute mark, but boy, I can tell you now that the next task took much longer, but with the power of editing and you can see the much more sped up process, the next 3 hours of my life I spent dragging all the bodies down into the basement, right in front of the vault, collecting my target last, her being the final body on the pile. This was what all of the NPCs in New York looked like. I then began the final operation, moving all the bodies into the vault, putting all of the people in their own separate cages for the bankers, the guards and the civilians. I then topped it off by putting Athena right in the middle, whipped out my submachine gun I had grabbed off the robbers right at the start, and rattled her with bullets. With that, and finally after 8 hours of work, I was finally done with my mission, nonchalantly exiting the bank via the main entrance, where I got my amazing mission rating of Silent Assassin suit early and my challenge complete. I do hope you enjoyed, as this took away much of my sanity, this also being a much different video to my usual Fallout content, but I hope you enjoyed. And if you made it this far, do consider subscribing with the notification bell, as I do try to have videos out every week, and in regards to this challenge I would attempt another more difficult map at some point when I get the chance. With that all said, goodbye everybody.